Hello everyone, welcome to Alpart Finance Training by Dafang Wu. This is session E3, Excel Macro Basics. So in this particular session, we'll learn about Excel macro, how to write a simple macro ourselves, and eventually how to get complicated macros. Macro is just a piece of program code that automates certain functions in Excel. Also, we call that Excel VBA, Visual Basic for Applications. So in that case, there are a lot of VBA codes online. Once we figure out how to do the basic things, then if we want to do anything complicated, we can just Google the code and put in the program and modify it. So macro is really handy if you have any repetitive work. So in that case, if you have something that regularly takes you an hour to do every week, we definitely need to think about macro. Macro is saved as a piece of program code in the XLSM file. So when you open the Excel file, it's not transparent. It's not out there immediately. So that's why we don't use that for financial model. In financial model, we want to be transparent. We want everyone to see everything. So I don't really use macro that a lot in the financial modeling. In order to write a macro, first of all, the convenient thing is to enable the developer tab. When you go to the Excel file menu, click the options, then under the customize ribbon, you will see on the right side there is a tab, there is a place you can check developer. After you click it, you will see a developer tab. The developer tab on the left side, you can see looks roughly like this. Then when you click the Visual Basic, then you will see several new windows popping out. When you first open the new file, it doesn't have any other place you can put the code, so you can right-click this workbook, then insert menu, module. A module is a place you can store all the VBA codes or the macro code. Then when you add this module, then automatically it will start writing a sub and an end sub. This is just the beginning and the end of a macro. If you go back to the developer tab and click on this record macros, then a window will pop out and give you an automatic name. Once you click OK, it will translate whatever you're doing in Excel into programming code. Then when you click on this one, stop recording macro, it will create the code inside this Visual Basic editor. So you can go there, check out the code yourself. In this exercise, I want to convert a very large worksheet. So in this case, the worksheet has 160 projects. Each project is one line with 100 columns. It's a real convenient database, but you can imagine it's impossible to print it out and read it. So in that case, I developed a review tab. It's a template transforming all the columns of a project into a meaningful format. So what I want to do is make a copy of the tab, rename the tab, copy the program code from the data tab, then paste this new tab, then repeat the process for 160 times. You can imagine if I do that manually, I will be completely driven crazy at the end of the day. So I want to write a macro. This is just a perfect example. You can use a macro to help yourself. By the way, the template looks like this. Actually, let's go to the Excel. Let me show you what that Excel file looks like. If you want the copy, I can send you a copy so you can test this yourself. So this is the layout. As you see there, this on the left side, it has the project name, project code. Project code is unique. If it's not unique, then we have a big problem. Then on the left side, you can see there are all kinds of information. So as you see, this is just impossible to read if you want one project. So I created a review tab. On the review tab, every single cell is linked to this highlighted cell, which is the project program code. So for example, if you click on any cell, it's all linked over there. If I want to see the information of this program, then I just need to go to the review tab, right click, paste the value on it. So you can see on the right side, everything will change and reflect the information related to this project only. So let me delete this one. So what I want to do is I want to make a copy of the review tab. Put that to the end, create a copy. So I want to rename this one as 1. So in that case, I want to go back and copy a program and paste it over there on 1. So I'm done with this process. I just want to repeat this 160 times. So in order to do that easily, the first thing we can do is just record a macro. Let me delete this one and redo it. So if you click on record macro, it will pop out a name asking you what's the macro's name. Then you click OK with it. Then, as we said, we want to make a copy of the review tab, put that at the very end. We want to rename this as 1. Then we go to the data tab and copy a particular code. We go back to 1 and paste over there. That's the process. Then when we click stop recording, it will produce the code we need. The code is automatically saved under the Visual Basic Editor. If we click on this one, if we go to the last one, as you see, the one we just recorded is macro 3. So you can see a lot of code written right there. It looks complicated, but let me explain to you what that is. Let's go to the PowerPoint. So as you see here, the first line is saying, okay, we select the tab, make a copy, then make a new tab, rename this to 1, then we copy some cells and paste it. It's just a simple like this. But in order to understand the code on the left side, we need to understand how Excel refers to sheets and cells. So Excel refers to sheets as either by the name in the double quotation or just by the absolute number of the sheet. If you type MSG box sheets 1 in the immediate window, then you will pop out what's the name of the sheet. The immediate window is just located in the Visual Basic Editor. Sheet.count is a special function. It returns the number of the worksheets in the file. So when you do that, it will tell you how many sheets are there already. Then you know if you create a new sheet, what will be the number of the new sheets. Range is a selection of cells, or it can just be one cell. So in that case, it's just easier to refer to one cell instead. Similarly, there are two ways you can refer to a cell. You can refer it by the cell name, like B4, or you can refer that one by row and columns. In this example, I, the first one, refers to the row, and J refers to the column. So B4 is cells 4, 2, because it's on the 4th row, 2nd column. We also need to understand the basic function in Excel, VBA. So if then else just means if this particular statement is true, then we do something. Otherwise, we do something else. And the for next, oh, by the way, for this example, is saying if the value is blank, that means we reach the end of the worksheet, then we do nothing. Otherwise, we keep doing those new good things. Keep making the copy of the review tab. For next is a loop. So this one said from number 3 all the way to 161, we repeat the process. Every time we finish the process, we add 1 automatically to I, then go back to the starting point. So in that case, we want to modify the code we just written. First of all, we put in a loop function saying from row 3 all the way to 161, we want to repeat this process. So you can see I added a variable there. This one stores the value of the worksheet itself. So when I want to make a copy of the tab, I know which sheets, after which sheets I want to put that. So in that case, every sheet is put at the very end of this whole workbook. Then since in that case, I already know how many worksheets are there, I just change the name of the new worksheets to this particular variable. So everything down below there is pretty much the same, other than this one. Because when you want to go to the new tab, you want to go to that max sheet. One way to clean this up is in Excel, A equals B is different from what we know in the reality. A equals B just means take the value of B and assign it to A. So in this case, the statement just means go to the data tab, take whatever the cells I2 the value is, and go back to the review tab. Put this one in C4. C4 is where the project code is. So in that case, we modify this particular macro as from I equals 3 to whatever. You can write 1,000 or 1,000,000 over there. If the worksheet doesn't equal blank, that means this is a valid project code. So in that case, we put this project code value into the review tab. Then we make a copy of this one, then all the way going through. And we repeat this process until we hit blank. So this is really how the Excel macro works. After you figured out this thing, I encourage you just to figure out whatever the function you need. Go to Google and search VBA code plus whatever you're interested. Then you can see other people must have already written the code for you. All you have to do is copy the code, put that in the Visual Basic editor, then modify that for your further use. If you want a copy of this Excel file I'm referring, I can send you a copy so you can run some tests yourself. But one thing I need to warn you is before you run any VBA code, save the file first. You can't undo whatever the VBA code is doing in Excel. So if it went wrong, you lost all the work. That's why you have to save the file yourself. As mentioned, if you want to find more information about airport finance or all the other stuff, you can go to my website, dwconsulting.com. If you have a question, if that needs some help, just feel free